What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode here on SMG. Today we're going to be doing something that's completely different from what we're usually used to on this channel. And if you guys can see these parts right here, these are all PC parts. So we're going to be building a PC. But not only are we going to be building a PC, but we are going to be building an AMD Ryzen 3 PC. So if you guys have seen my videos in the past, those were all edited on my old Asus all-in-one PC, which is really overpriced, basically. It's not exactly what I wanted it to be performance-wise. So if you guys watch my videos or see any of my content on Instagram, you'll know that I'm into video editing. I'm also into a little photography, so a little bit of Lightroom or Photoshop or whatever it be to edit photos. And then I'm also going to be doing a little light gaming, nothing too extreme, no huge AAA titles that are going to require me to have the best of the best. Just what I have here is going to run everything perfectly. So we're going to be using this Ryzen 3 1200 CPU. So this is a 4-core, 4-thread CPU. It has a base clock of 3.1 gigahertz, and it also has a max turbo speed of 3.4. And of course, these cores are all unlocked, so you can overclock them as you wish. With the stock cooler, I've seen some people get them up to 3.8, and depending on how good the silicone is in your chip, you can get up to about 4.0 gigahertz, which is really good for an overclock. So I think this price to performance on the CPU is absolutely amazing. I think that right now, as of a budget build, this is going to be a great CPU for my build. Later on down the road, I can always upgrade. I'm thinking about maybe upgrading to the Ryzen 5 1500X or the 1600X. However, I think right now this Ryzen 3 1200 CPU will be absolutely perfect for a little bit of light gaming and light video editing. So the next thing on my list is a motherboard. I went with the MSI Arctic Tomahawk motherboard. It is a B350 chipset, so I can overclock this just a little bit. So this Tomahawk motherboard has USB 3.1. It's got Type A and Type C. It's got a couple of USB 3.0 headers on it, USB headers on the back. It's got steel armor on the PCIe slot and all 4 RAM slots, so that's awesome. I ended up pairing my Ryzen 3 1200 with a GTX 1060. This is the 3GB version. I did not go with the 6GB version because of cryptocurrency mining right now is just making GPU prices extremely outrageous. I was going to go with the 1050 Ti, but ended up getting a little bit more money to work with my budget. Price I paid for it was like $230 or something. You guys can go check those links down below if you want to see what the price is now, but they should be coming down hopefully. So with my motherboard, it actually supports up to 3200 megahertz of DDR4 RAM. I was not willing to pay that much for that RAM. So I got two 4 gig sticks, so a total of 8 gigs of DDR4 2400 RAM. Now I feel like every PC nowadays needs to have some kind of solid state storage. I went with the Samsung 850 EVO 250 gigabyte drive. That'll be enough for my Windows startup, games, and like the basic programs like Adobe Premiere that I use. So I'm also going to be needing a lot of video storage and photo storage, which takes up a lot of room, but I don't need to have readily available as fast like on an SSD as I would on a mechanical drive. So I got a Western Digital Blue 1 terabyte hard drive. I have, I think, up to 2 or 3 slots of 3.5-inch drives in my NZXT tower. So I bought the 1 terabyte. Later on, I think I might end up going with another 4 terabytes. That way, you know, I can always upgrade that storage. But I think 1 terabyte is good to start out with. And then the last piece of the puzzle is my case. I ended up going with the NZXT S340 in the all white. Like I said, I'm doing a completely white build, so white case, white GPU, white motherboard, everything's white. I'm going to eventually upgrade and get some white cables as well to go along with those. So I know you guys probably don't want to watch me put this together, so I'll show you little highlights here and there. But if you have any questions on how anything goes or any recommendations on what you should use in your computer, or if you have any recommendations for what my build needs, because I'll be honest with you, this is my first computer and I don't know everything there is to know about PCs. So if you guys have any tips or hints or anything that you want to help me out with, please leave those down below in the comments. All right, well, overall, I'd say that this was pretty successful. You can see that. I don't know how good you can see that. So yeah, pretty much everything's hooked up. Our solid state's hooked up down here. Our hard drive is hooked up down there. I'll turn it around so you guys can get a look at our cable management. it's actually not too bad for this case. Everything tucks in pretty nice. Like I said, later on down the road, I'll get some actual cables that are the correct length, and they're all going to be white and everything. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and hit post, or try to turn it on and see if it will post. So, cross your fingers. Oh. I guess sometimes it helps if you actually remember to turn your power supply on first. All right, well, let's see if it works now for real. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fans running. So there we go. We're in our BIOS where you can see that our CPU speed is 3.1 gigahertz. Our DDR speed is 2400 megahertz. I mean, everything's there. Pretty awesome, huh? I'm going to get this PC up and running. We're going to download some games. We're going to download some benchmark tests and see exactly how this Ryzen 3 1200 and a GTX 1060 3 gig version build up and see how great they perform. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. This is not something I typically do. I typically do this in my everyday life, but this isn't something that my channel has ever been. If you guys are just tuning in for this video, you won't know that this channel used to be named SMG Fishing. And that was because I have a passion for fishing and I really loved fishing, and I still do. But I decided to start sharing that with you guys in the form of YouTube. So by making those YouTube videos, I realized how much I also love video production and photography and videography, wherever you want to call it. So that's what I've kind of been doing. I have a lot of really expensive hobbies, I would say, but I also have a very small budget for those hobbies. So typically, I have like an ADD personality when it comes to it, and I do one hobby for a really long time, really hard, and then I always switch. So, you know, like, I hunt and I fish. So those are actually good hobbies to have because they don't always line up in the same time frame, because usually you hunt during the winter and fish during the summer. I also really love photography, and that's something that I've recently just seen that I actually enjoy doing. I've been upgrading, and I'm sure you guys can see in my channel's quality that the video and the audio and just the whole overall production, I hope that it is getting better slowly over time. I love hearing the feedback and the input from you guys. It's absolutely amazing, and I love the support that I have out there. So if you guys like this video or enjoyed anything about it, make sure you go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you guys have any questions as to anything that's going on, whether it be in my life or my channel or any of these projects, please feel free to ask. I love getting that support and seeing you guys, your comments and your feedback and your help. And if you guys have any questions about any of the links that are down below in the comment section for any of the parts that I use ever in any of my videos, please ask me. Let me know. Let me know anything you guys want. If you guys just want to say, hey, good job, high five, that's awesome too. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. They probably didn't even know I built this computer 3 times to get the right footage. Oh man. That really sucked. Yeah, I shot this video 3 times because the video footage got corrupted. That's why I'm using 2 cameras now, because of redundancy, because this really sucks when you shoot a whole video that takes like 2 hours to shoot because it's your first time ever building a PC, and then it ends up corrupting, and then your audio sucks and your video sucks and whatever. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna make myself mad.